What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to another video with your boy Sticks. As you guys know, I have my beautiful BMW 440i right here, and in today's video we're gonna do a little POV drive. And while we do that, I'm gonna be telling you guys exactly what has went wrong with my car from start to finish in the 2 years of ownership that I have. Very little to no issues with this car. So if you guys are thinking about getting a BMW 440, I highly recommend it. It's just a beautiful car, highly reliable, especially like if you want to keep it stock for a little while. Like, you will literally have zero problems, bro. Besides, you know, if you get it in white, it'll probably be mad dirty like mine. But you know, it's the weather, man. It's still not that nice out, man. It's very cloudy. It was raining like for the last 2 days. But with that being said, guys, I hope you guys do enjoy the video, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump in the car. I haven't turned it on in like 2 days. Yep, that's pretty much it. Wow, I really haven't driven this car in a couple of days now. Oof. Ever since that snow day that we had here, bro, I haven't driven this car, bro. I got too scared. All right, you guys, so I'm pretty much gonna be taking you guys from the top. To be honest, I haven't had that many issues with this car, but I have had a couple things that I ran into. I wish that I knew before I did what I did. The first thing that ever happened to me was when I first started modding this car and started buying parts and mods and all that stuff for this vehicle. I had 20-inch stagger setup on this car. If I can find a picture, I'll pull it up for you guys so you guys can see. I had a 20-inch stagger setup on this car. The max tire size that you probably want to put on your car is just 275. Meanwhile, me, I had a I want to say 285s in the back on a 440. Is just extremely big. I had like 285 40 20s in the back, so every time I hit a little pothole or anything, I would just hear a rub. And that was before I even dropped the car. So but it looked dropped because the car, like, the wheels were so big that made it look like it was lower. And I couldn't even lower it if I wanted to, because I probably wouldn't even be able to drive the car. I knew that it was too big, but I already spent the money on it, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be fine. Like, you can put 20-inch rims on this car. It's just that my tires were too big. 285 is too big for this car, man. Oh, hold on, that bump. Oh, moving on to the second thing, guys, was when I decided to put spacers on this car. You know, spacers make the tires look, you know, very aligned, very nice, make it look, you know, give you a good setup for your car, you know what I mean? Like, that way your tires are not tucked in. So depending on the spacer determines how far out your tire goes. So, you know, you kind of test it out. I have 15s all the way around. That makes my tires pretty much line up perfectly with the car, which is a good size. You probably don't want to go higher than that, because then you'll probably start running into issues, especially living in New York, guys. You know that, you know, living in New York, we have these bumps and all that stuff. It's just not fun, man. So I ended up putting spacers, and then because you can't use the same lug nuts that your car comes with, you have to get extended lug nuts, right? So what I ended up doing, I got the extended lug nuts, I put those on, and everything was good until one time I went to a car meet. I started noticing a shaking in my steering wheel. I'm like, whoa, what is that? That feels so weird. As I'm getting onto the highway, I noticed like an extremely amount of shake. I was like, bro, what is going on? It started shaking like crazy, like. And then I heard a big boom. I said, oh, what the heck was that? And then my car wasn't moving. Oh, look at this X6M, X6, 5, X5 or something, or whatever. I noticed that loud noise, and the car wasn't moving anymore. Thank God that I was going slow. I wasn't going fast, because like I said, I was going onto the highway, so I wasn't going fast. Once I noticed that shaking, then I slowed down. I was like, what is going on? So I get out the car, and I noticed that my car landed on top of my wheel. So what had happened was all of my lug nuts for one of my tires snapped, like all of them snapped. I don't know how that even happens or why it happened. I don't know if they weren't tight enough or whatever, but they all pretty much snapped at the same time. So they snapped. Once it snapped, the car landed on top of the wheel, right? So now I'm stuck on the highway. When we go to car meets here, man, them things run till super late, and I could not find it open. And it was a Sunday, I think, and there's nothing open at that time. I was just stuck. I didn't know what to do. I don't know. I was just stuck. I don't know what, you know, I don't know what happened. I don't know what to do or nothing like that. And so I had to call 911. I called 911. They told me whatever, they're gonna send somebody. A tow truck came. They literally charged me, guys, $300 to move me. Like, literally, I was getting on the highway. All they did was get me off the highway. You know what I mean? That's literally it. And they charged me $300 for that. They could have took my car to their shop, but then, you know, they were gonna charge me for keeping the car there and then fixing the car. that was gonna be super expensive. So what I decided to do is he dropped me off right next to a tire shop, and I tried to fix it, not really fix it, but like take off lug nuts from my other tires to put it on that tire. But once it snapped, the other lug, like half of the lug nut was still in my tire, in the what's that thing called, in my disc. And you know I'm talking about the disc. Yeah, some of them were still stuck in there, and I couldn't get them out, so I couldn't put, you know, my tire back on with some of the other lug nuts that I had in the vehicle. And I was pretty much stuck there, super late. I was somewhere in the Bronx, and I didn't feel comfortable leaving my car there by itself. So I pretty much decided to sleep in the car that night, bro. So I stayed in the car overnight, just stayed in the car. I didn't want nobody to come in my car, break in, and, you know, take stuff from it, because I was in a super, like, I don't know, fishy looking, sketchy area, bro. I was in a sketchy area and I was not with it. So I was like, nah, I'm sleeping in my car. I slept in there. I slept super uncomfortable, by the way. This thing is not comfortable to sleep in. But yeah, I stayed there overnight. The next morning when I woke up, I had like, there was one open lug nut, right? Like one open spot in the disc that I could still put one bolt in. So what I ended up doing was, I think I still might have the clip of me driving on the highway at like 2 miles per hour trying to make it home. Get a BMW, they said. Me on the highway going 5 miles per hour. So what I ended up doing was I put one lug nut and I literally drove 20 minutes. Well, it was a 20-minute drive, but it took me like an hour to get back home because I was going so slow on the highway, bro. Everybody was coming up next to me, asking me if I needed help. I was like, nah, I'm good. You know, I was just going super slow home, bro. I was praying to make it home. So then after that, I pretty much just took it to a shop. They got it out, and then I got some new lugs, and yeah, then I did that. But yeah, man, the extended lug nuts was I don't know what happened. I don't know if they weren't tight enough or what. It was a sad day for me that day, man. But keep in mind, guys, these things are not like, you know, crazy things that happens like on the regular. This is just like weird things that I don't even know how it happens type of thing. And then this last one that I got for you guys is pretty much known in the BMW like B58 engine, and it's leaking your fluid. I don't know, I haven't really leaked like that. A lot of people, you know, run into this issues that they leak their coolant fluid. The only thing that happened to me was that a little rock hit my front radiator. It pretty much made a little hole, so my fluid was leaking to there, and I didn't know why or how, right? So I kept putting fluid in it, not knowing where the leak was coming from, and like I could fill it up in 10 minutes, it will be completely gone, like on the floor. I was like, bro, where is coming out from? Yeah, then I took it to a repair shop. They did a diagnostic. They pressure like tested it to see where the fluid was coming from. And I had to pretty much just, you know, buy a new radiator. So I went with the CSF heat exchange. I'm glad I did, because like my car never ever even gets hot anymore with that, bro, because it's so much bigger than the OEM one. It just keeps the car like nice and cool, like it doesn't overheat or anything like that. So now like if I wanted to go with and get more power, I could, because I have that, you know what I mean? The other thing that I did, but this was my fault though, I started doing donuts in the winter, right, with my boys. We were at a club, I think, and after the club we just started doing dumb stuff, which, you know, we always be doing dumb stuff, and I ended up paying for that. So I pretty much started doing donuts in front of a spot, and there was a pile of snow, and I hit the snow, but behind the snow, right next to the snow, was the curb. So once I did the donut and I tried to like drive away, I hit like the edge of the snow thinking it was just snow, but it wasn't snow. I ended up hitting the curb, broke my rim, busted my rim crazy, and I was like, holy crap. I thought I just popped my tire. Everybody heard it. It was like a loud like explosion type of thing, like when your wheel pops. That's what we heard, but we thought that it was just my tire that, you know, popped or whatever. So we drove it, because we were near a tire repair shop. So we drove it over there, took a look at the tire, and we noticed that tire was just popped, and like the rim was broken, there was piece missing and all that. So yeah, that ended up costing me like, I think one rim cost me $800 for this car, for the OEM one, and the tire cost me like $80. But besides that, guys, honestly, you don't really run into any issues with this car, man. As long as you keep it maintain and you do what you need to do on time and all that stuff, man, you won't run into any issues. So love this car, man. I highly recommend it. Beautiful car. You can do so much to it. There's so many parts you can get, so many things you can do. People love this car, you know what I mean? When like you pull up with this car, man, you have it nice and clean. People are like, yo, what is that? Especially when you debadge it, when you don't put it, when you take off the badges like I did, they get like, what is that? At one point, people thought this was an M6. I said, bro, what? This is not that big to be an M6. So, but yeah, man, that's pretty much it for the, you know, for the things that have went wrong with my car, man. Like I said, beautiful car, bro. Look at it. Just look at it. We're over here in the last floor. Cause you guys know I don't really park next to cars like that, but look at it, guys. Beautiful car, you can't go wrong with it. Look at my spacer. See how the tire, this is what the spacer does. You see how the tire is like even with the with this thing, whatever the thing is called, it's like even with, if I didn't have my spacer, the tire will be like tucked in there and it wouldn't look as nice. Yeah, that's pretty much everything that has went wrong with this car. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. It's nothing too crazy, you guys, but you know, I just want to let you guys know, because you guys asked me, it's like, oh, has anything went wrong, or what has went wrong with the car? And that's pretty much everything that has went wrong with the car. I do got a couple things that I gotta do, like get it aligned, and I also want to change my my control arms, especially my front ones, because after I hit that curb, I think I messed something up, so I gotta change that at some point. And that's pretty much it, guys. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you guys are new. We're going for 1,000 subscribers. And again, guys, if you guys are interested in a BMW like this or any other car, follow me on Instagram, link down below, hit me up, I'll get you a car. And yeah, so I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.